Hey, what up, what up? Let me just get this thing out of here. How we doing? How we doing? Today, as you can see, we're not looking at the League of Legends client. No, we are looking at Twitter. Now, why would we go to the only place that's probably more toxic than League of Legends, being Twitter? Well, um, there is a rioter by the name of SpiderX who frequently posts updates about League of Legends. If you want like new information about items, runes, everything coming in like 2 patches in the future, this is the guy to look out for, right? He drops all the news. Now, that being said, there is probably people who like release leaks that might be even faster than him. But SpiderX is an official Riot employee, and his stuff is always 100% safe, and he is very quick, and he never misses any info. So very good to have him here. I've compiled a bunch of his posts about the new season. Not the new season, the new split. Last split of this season, split 3, which is kind of like a mini season start. They're changing a lot. So I've compiled a whole list. We're going to look at all of these items, all of these item changes, these rune changes, and a new game mode coming in. This is the absolute most important for me. This is why it's on the top here, and I did some math already. But yeah, if there is an item missing, right? We're not looking at every single item because that would be too much. Riot is changing almost every item. Some changes are very minor. Some don't really concern Udyr. And, you know, so if I don't name an item and you're like, why didn't you talk about that item? It's either because the change was irrelevant, or yes, it is nerfed heavily for Udyr, but it is nerfed just as much for every other champion, so I don't mention it because it doesn't make a difference. Or it was just not personally interesting to me. But all the items I've listed here, these are definitely the most important, and for these changes you want to look out for in the coming split. Now, let's get into it, right? Stop wasting time. Drop the Bramble vest in here. This is one of my absolute favorite changes. Bramble vest and Thornmail. Hold on. You know what would be really good? If we listen to the Udyr lo-fi mix in the back. Give me 1 second. Get really comfortable here, right? Let's get real comfortable. There it is. Alright. Yeah. Yo, Taki, what's up, what's up? Now, can't talk about Bramble Vest without also looking at Thornmail, so let's open that up as well. So, there has been some changes. So, Bramble Vest Thorn damage, the damage enemies get when they poke you, right, with auto attacks, went up from 6 to 10, which is massive because they didn't change the cost of the item. It's still 800 gold, very cheap, still does anti-healing. So this is just a straight up buff. Now they changed it from 6 to 10, but 10 used to be the base damage of Thornmail. So they actually changed the base damage of Thornmail as well, pushing it from 10 to 15. But they changed the armor ratio of the Thorn damage, right? The Thorn damage scales with your armor from 25% down to 15%. But in the same breath, they said, fuck it, from 70 armor to 100 armor, and the cost down to 2,450. Now this is the most massive change because this is pretty much now a support item. Everything that's below 2.5k gold is pretty much considered a support item. I don't know why they would do this. Thornmail is kind of fucking broken. But I guess they think it's warranted to make it this cheap because they removed the HP. So 100 armor looks pretty broken on paper. They did remove the HP though. So rushing this item is not really an option. You can't go Thornmail first. You have to build an HP item first if you are a tank. and you follow up Thornmail after as a situational item against on-hit attackers and against like healers. So you want like the anti-healing, right? Which item is the best source of grievous wounds for Udyr specifically? I'd say the orb, the AP item for 800 gold, because it's really easy to apply for Phoenix. That's only if you play Phoenix though. If you're a frontline Udyr, you build Bramble Vest, and if you are a QMax Udyr, you go Executioner's Calling, because Executioners building into Chemtech Punk Sword is a really good item for QMax Udyr. Gives health, gives AD, gives ability haste, perfect stats. Udyr can build all of these. It depends on your playstyle. Me, personally, I like the Orb best because AP Udyr is my favorite. Yo, Quitter, what's up? So they changed a lot of numbers, right? They changed a lot of numbers. Armor up, base damage up, but armor ratio down. And you might be scratching your head, so is it better now or is it worse? So, right off the bat, right, the price tag makes this really, really, really good. Bramble Vest being straight up buffed is really good. And for your convenience, I already did the math. So the old Thornmail was 25% thorn damage of the 70 armor it gives, which is 17.5 damage, plus the 10 base damages had. So 27.5 plus your base armor. The new Thornmail is 15% of 100 armor, which is 15, plus the new 15 base damage, coming out to 30. So the thorn damage of the new Thornmail is actually higher, but only in the early game. That's the thing. Old Thornmail scaled with 25%, and this one only with 15%. So as soon as you build one more armor item, it will outscale the new Thornmail. So it scales less well, but the item on its own is better. So in a vacuum, if you only have one armor item, Thornmail is better than ever before, because it's cheaper, it gives more armor, and the thorn damage is better. But if, for instance, you are a Rammus enjoyer, and you're like, oh my god, I'm going to scale as much armor as possible and deal tons of thorn damage, or like any other tank, right? But Rammus is the prime example. It's not going to be as good. Now on Udyr specifically, I think this is a great change. You get way earlier to a high armor item because of the cheap price. It's nice to buy this to counter ranged top champions. Yeah, no complaints for me here. I think this might get a nerf coming to it. I could see them changing the cost to 2,550. Maybe. I don't think it's balanced in the state it is right now. I don't think it is. HP being removed is a huge knock to it. So we'll have to see, I'm not too sure about this one. Wasn't there a support grievous wounds item? Yeah, it's removed. That has been removed for a while. I think with the start of this season or the last split. Yeah. Support anti-healing item is not a thing. Now, next change. This is, I think, my absolute favorite change of the entire new split. Guys, this is gonna be nuts. This is gonna be nuts. This is gonna change the way we, and specifically me, play Udyr. Shield Bash. Now you know, me and Shield Bash, we and Shield Bash, we have history. I've made the Khajiit Merchant Udyr guide, where you build Eclipse into Fimbulwinter and your Turtle Shield, and you proc Shield Bash a bunch of times and you trade with the enemy. That was always fun, that was always good, right? Now what they changed with Shield Bash is they removed the bonus resistances it gave you while you were shielded. Now how much was that? Not a lot. Not a lot. I think it was 1 to 10 scaling with level. Yeah. Yeah, so in the early game you literally got 1 armor and magic resistance. And in the late game you got 10 armor and magic resistance, right? With level 18. So it's really trash early, but it's scaled pretty good. Like 10 armor and magic resistance in the late game for like a small rune like this is good. It is good in the late game, but Shield Bash is more for like lane phase trading. And Riot sees this, right? And they're saying, okay, let's go all in to the power fantasy of Shield Bash. And they raised the bonus HP ratio, meaning the higher your shield, the higher your HP, the higher the Shield Bash damage, because Shield Bash damage does scale with your HP, from 1.5% to 2.5, and the shield ratio from a whopping 8.5% to 15%. This scaling means 15% of your shield is converted into damage. Let's take an example here. Eclipse. Because we do build Eclipse when we go Shield Bash. Eclipse gives you a shield... How big is the shield of Eclipse? Grants you a shield for 160. Plus 40% bonus AD. So 70%. Let's take just the 40% of the 70 attack damage Eclipse gives you. That's 28. So we're getting a 188 shield. So 188 shield. 188. How much is that? Let me see. 8.5% of 188, right? So Shield Bash on Eclipse trigger used to deal 16 damage on top of your auto attack. Now, with the updated 15% ratio, it's 28. 28, 50 as 16. Right? So almost twice the damage. Almost. So Shield Bash is going to be massive, especially if you trigger it multiple times in a row for the lane phase. You will definitely see me in the next split playing Shield Bash Udyr on the top lane way more. And now that they buffed the HP ratio, it goes even better together with Grasp of the Undying, right? Give me 1 second. Since we're having a pretty chill stream, I do have the time to kick out bots. Nice. There we go. Alright, so that's Shield Bash. Definitely look out for this one. It got straight up buffed. Forget about this little change. It's only late game relevant. It is a rune made for lane phase, and it got a lot better at that. Right. Got this, got this, got that. What do we have next? Nimbus Cloak. Very good change as well. You will find, you will come to see, and that's not just me being an optimistic kind of guy, that a lot of stuff for Udyr got buffed. They wanted to take power out of runes and items, but I see a lot of good in these changes, especially runes though. So, Nimbus Cloak, what did they do? The MS4CD, right, got raised. So, the longer the cooldown of your spell is, the more movement speed Nimbus Cloak gives you, right? So if you use TP or Flash, you would get a huge 25% bonus movement speed after using that summoner spell. If you used something like Smite, which only has 70-second cooldown, it would only give you a measly 5% movement speed. Now, as a jungler on Udyr, you usually ran Nimbus Cloak on your full movement speed rune page, just because the other options are not really good. And combined with Smite giving movement speed or slowing the enemy, it was alright. The 5% on top, they didn't really matter, but you just took them because there was nothing else to take. Ground. Right? If we look at the runes, beside Nimbus Cloak, you have Mana Flow Band and Nullifying Orb. Now, if you are a jungler, there's no point in taking Mana Flow Band, because you will never run out of mana. You have blue buff, and you have extra mana regen while being in the jungle. And Nullifying Orb is just a troll rune in general, and is only good if you're playing in lane against a mage. It's super specific, super niche. So you always took Nimbus Cloak if you went the Phase Rush movement speed page on Udyr. Now they straight up buffed this from 5% to 12% to 20% to 28%, 25% to 35%. No complaints for me here, Udyr just gets faster. And that is a big topic on this patch. Riot is actually not happy with how fast a lot of champions are without being meant to be fast, right? So Riot wants most of the power of a champion to come from the champion itself and not from items anymore. So this is why they're nerfing all the items, to make the champions shine more. A lot of AD carry items, for instance, used to give 7% movement speed or something like that. They're knocking these numbers down, so AD carries in general will have less movement speed, and they're gonna be faster if they have movement speed in their kit, or if they have dashes in their kit, but it's not gonna be straight up from items anymore. So gone are the days where Udyr just gets outran by every champion in the game just because they bought the items for it, right? They gotta have it in their kit, or they're gonna be slower. So the good times are rolling, the good times are rolling. I will definitely try this one out. Phase Rush Udyr is one of my favorites. Nimbus Cloak on top, we're gonna be speeding. Gonna be speeding. Now this one is a little bit of a niche change, the next one. Tal Wildarrows. I personally like this item because it gives us a dot. And it's very unique. No other item gives you an AD dot, right? This is like attack damage Liandry's. Liandry's burns the enemies for magic damage, and this, if you crit the enemy, burns them for physical damage. Now this used to scale with 35% AD, now it's not scaling at all anymore, and it's just 80 flat damage. I haven't done the math behind this. I'm guessing 80 flat damage is gonna be a lot better early game, and decent in the mid game, and worse in the late game. That being said, I think this is good. I think this is good for Udyr. I've had a build going where I would go, what was the item? Sundered Sky into Tal Wildarrows. Because Sundered Sky guarantees that your first auto attack on an enemy champion is a crit. And this actually counts as a crit that triggers Tal Wildarrow. So not only will you trigger the Sundered Sky crit, but also a burn. Right? And if we rush Tal Wildarrows right after building Sundered Sky, we might have a solid early to mid game Tiger build going. I could see this working. It might fall off in the late game, but it definitely has all the stats Udyr needs, right? If we go Sundered Sky first, because that gives us health, it gives us a heal, I think it gives us ability haste as well, so we got all of that taken care of. After that we just need damage, right? Damage and mobility. And this definitely provides damage. So, excited for this. At the end of the day, Tal Wildarrows, I don't think anyone's gonna build it. This is not enough of a buff. Other crit items are just better. If they would make this cheaper by like 300 gold, people would at least try it, and then Riot could change it from there. But I don't think they have a lot of statistics to go off of, because no one is building it. I've never seen this item meta, which is sad. It's fun. And Riot should make more fun items, but yeah, people are not willing to try it. People just want to try hard. It is what it is. Alright, next up, huge nerf. Here's the first big nerf. We've only talked about the positives so far. Here's a little bit of a downer. So Titanic Hydra, which is a huge item on Udyr. All Hydras are good on Udyr, and especially Titanic Hydra, because it gives an auto attack reset, which is massive for QMax Udyr, and like frontlining Udyr, tanky Udyr, top lane Udyr. This is definitely an item that saw play on him. Now they raised the HP of it, which is a trend that they do with a lot of HP items this patch. This is why Riot is also calling this patch Durability Patch 2.0. They're trying to like get this magic working again. But here's what they've done, which is a huge nerf. Target damage removed, cleave unchanged. Now what does that mean, target damage removed? Let me show. Now for those of you who didn't know, Titanic Hydra actually used to have on-hit damage. This makes it very different from others like Ravenous Hydra. You can look at this as well. So, Titanic Hydra has the effect: basic attacks on hit deal 1.5% maximum health bonus physical damage to the target, right? And then in a cone. So you have on-hit damage, and then the cone damage, right? The Titanic spread did also the on-hit damage. If you have something like Ravenous Hydra, you only have the cleave damage, right? Wait, basic attacks on hit deal... yeah. See, basic attacks on hit deal 40% 80 physical damage to other enemies. So if you have Ravenous Hydra and you auto-attack a champion, all other targets around him get the cleave damage, but the champion you're attacking itself actually doesn't take any cleave damage from Ravenous Hydra, although he's standing right in it, right? That was the one thing that made Titanic Hydra different from Ravenous Hydra. This was huge on on-hit champions. So every on-hit champion that built Titanic Hydra is getting a fat fucking nerf with this. This is a nerf for Mundo. This is a massive nerf for Shyvana. So there's gonna be even more AP Shyvana now, which is sad. And of course a huge nerf for Udyr. We'll see. We'll see if this item holds up. I think it's kind of down in the dumps right now. This was one of the things that definitely made it unique and stronger compared to other Hydras. The on-hit damage, the max health on-hit damage, actually worked on turrets as well, which allowed tanks to actually split push and siege, and that is also removed now. Compared with the fact also that a season ago, or split ago, Overlord's Bloodmail came out, which pretty much stole the passive of Titanic Hydra, giving you bonus attack damage for your bonus health. So Titanic Hydra is just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. It's nerf after nerf. It's a good item, but I don't think anymore. We still have the auto attack reset, which is the most important part of this item. And if you enjoy tank Udyr, you can still build it. It's 100% still playable, but definitely expect a drop in damage. Expect a drop in damage everywhere when you're building this. Don't be surprised when it doesn't feel as good as it used to. Now, next up, we gotta look at these two items together, because we got Sunfire Aegis and Hollow Radiance. I actually like this change. A lot of tank players are probably in tears about this. I like it. So, Sunfire Aegis base damage per second got raised, but they nerfed the HP ratio. This is kind of rough. This is really rough. 1.75% down to 1%. So you deal a lot less damage with Sunfire Aegis. It used to be very rewarding that if you build more health, the Sunfire Aegis deals more damage, right? It was a nice tank design. Obviously, I'm sad for this damage to be gone, because we built this on Aura Udyr, together with Riftmaker and Abyssal Mask and Frozen Heart and so on and so on. But there is positives here. There's a lot of positives. So the minion and monster damage was raised. Especially the monster damage is interesting for us, because this makes Sunfire a lot more viable for Udyr jungle. This will now help us clear our jungle faster, which is nice. Tanks might actually be able to even rush Sunfire Aegis in the jungle now. The problem with Sunfire Aegis before was that you had 0 damage in the jungle. 0 fucking damage. And the stacking bonus of Sunfire only worked on champions. So you had to build AP or AD before actually going Sunfire, so you were able to jungle clear. Now you might actually be able to rush it. I'm not saying it's good, I'm just saying there's the option now. And now, as I said, the bonus damage per stack was removed. And just to make sure everyone is on the same page here, and we all know what we're talking about, Sunfire Aegis used to have this effect. Where is it? 60 minions. More ticks of damage. Here we go. Damaging enemy champions or epic monsters with this effect grants a stack for 5 seconds. that increases subsequent immolate damage by 10%, stacking up to 6 times for 60% increase. So this pretty much means, dump down, the longer you were burning the enemy with Sunfire, the more damage it dealt, all the way up to 60%. This on a full tank could actually be a nuts amount of damage. Now, Riot removed this completely, so it doesn't have scaling damage anymore. It's pretty much just a little bit of bonus damage in fights now against champions, but it's mainly used for clearing the jungle and clearing minions. This is what Riot wants this item to do now. Now this is interesting compared to Hollow Radiance, because Hollow Radiance never had this stacking buff. If you were burning people with Hollow Radiance, it didn't go up by 10% per second, right? Hollow Radiance always dealt less damage than Sunfire. A lot of people actually, on release of Hollow Radiance, were calling you a troll if you build Radiance over Sunfire. Because Sunfire was just straight up better. Even if you needed magic resistance, you would just build another magic resist item. God, don't build Hollow Radiance, right? Now with this huge Sunfire nerf, Hollow Radiance and Sunfire are more on the same level. And now you have the option, do I want the Armor Sunfire or the Magic Sunfire? Hollow Radiance might actually now pull ahead of Sunfire Aegis, because Hollow Radiance still has the effect that if you execute a minion with the burn, that they pop in an explosion and make a faster jungle clear happen with it. On top of that, they also buffed the monster damage from 100% to 125, so it's slightly lower than Sunfire Aegis 150%, but this has the pop effect, and this pop explosion effect is not to be underestimated. If you want a fast jungle clear, Hollow Radiance is probably stronger than Sunfire Aegis. Overall, I think this is a good idea. Sunfire Aegis shouldn't have been a choice for tanks to deal damage to champions. It should have always been for minions and monsters, wave clear, right? It got a little bit out of control. It was fun while it lasted, but we gotta let it go. I think it's still playable, still fun, but it was a bit too extreme. Now, next change. Rod of Ages, another huge nerf. I'm gonna say this a lot today, but some of the nerfs are fine. This is one of the nerfs that is not fine. Rod of Ages used to give you 20 HP per stack and 4 AP per stack. The item stacks up 10 times, right? Sorry. The item stacks up 10 times, which means on completion this used to give you 200 HP and 40 ability power. And also mana, right? But they didn't mention the mana, so I guess now it gives 200 mana but only 100 health, so it's kind of like uneven, which is really ugly. It used to be 200 health, 200 mana, 40 ability power. Boom. And now it's 100 health, 200 mana, and 30 ability power. The main draw of the item, of course, is its very cheap price and the fact that it gives you a level up. That being said, though, I think this change is way too harsh. 30 ability power is fine. I'm not too mad about this. I think it did give a bit too much ability power, although it's a scaling item that needs time. The HP stacking is brutal. This will definitely make it less of a viable option on Udyr. Still playable, of course, because it doesn't just give 100 health, it also has base health, right? So it just scales on top of that. But yeah, losing health on any item is rough for a frontliner like Udyr, because you need it to be able to tank. I think they're gonna regret this going forth. We might see more Rod of Ages changes. Hopefully, we'll see. Alright, next up, Riftmaker. Riftmaker also very interesting here, because again, Aura Udyr, one of our builds, right? Very interesting change here. So they nerfed the AP from 80 to 70. Not a big problem, because this is like a bruiser item anyway. You don't need a lot of AP to be able to deal burst damage or something like that. And this item having 70 ability power is just as much of a nerf for Udyr as any other champion. So this is not a problem. What's interesting is they reduced the number of stacks from 5 to 4. Now what does that mean? Look.
Push through their
For each second in combat with champions, deal 2% increased damage, stacking up to 5 times for a total of 10%. At maximum stacks, gain 10% Omnivamp. So what this change means essentially is that we don't get 10% bonus damage anymore, we only get 8% bonus damage. But there's an upside to this. If it only has 4 stacks, that means a second earlier we reach max stacks. So 1 second earlier we get 10% Omnivamp, which might help for survivability in fights. It's rough, of course, having only 8% bonus damage than compared to 10% bonus damage. But we gotta be optimistic. This patch note is riddled with nerfs on all items. We gotta see the upside here. For a frontline like Udyr, this is good. This item having less bonus damage is more of a nerf for mages. And mages, we don't really care about these guys, do we? They're reducing everything, which feels awful. Give it a try, Quitter. Give it a try. I think in your head, and I kind of had the same thought, you're thinking about this like, oh, if they just suck the power out of everything, it's just gonna make everything slower. Everything will take forever. There's no epic big numbers. There's not gonna be one-shots. There's not gonna be big, huge heals, right? There's not going to be super fast movement speed, right? But I think it's important that we take a step back and like lower these numbers a bit, because power creep is an issue in almost every number game. Every RPG has this, every competitive game has this, where stuff just gets broken and older stuff has to get more broken then, and look at this new thing that's also broken, right? And we kind of lose ourselves in that. Durability patch, the first one that is, made the game a lot more enjoyable, because if you're not being one-shot and if the enemies spam less abilities, it feels like there's more counterplay, there's more reaction time. Stuff feels less unfair, and this is what they're going for again. That fights become more readable just by the fact that they take a little bit longer. I'm looking forward to this. This might start a tank meta, which I'm not sure I like, but it's definitely better than 80 carry meta, what we just had. Thank God 80 carry meta didn't last long. It was like 3 patches of a fucking nightmare. 80 carries on every roll. I'd rather have tank meta. Now that's a bit subjective maybe, because I play Udyr. But I think longer fights, big fights, are more enjoyable if they take longer. Now, next up, Redemption. This one is just sad, I'm not gonna lie. But I put it in here in the list because I want to speak out for the item still being good. You've lately seen me play Redemption very often because it was part of the Conga Udyr build, which is the newest Udyr build I released. And also I've just been fucking around with the item in general because it's really fun. We tried Redemption Rush on Udyr top lane, which was really interesting. Now the nerf is heal and shield power down from 15% to 10%. That hurts. That really hurts. Because on each single thing it doesn't mean a lot, but this accumulates, right? If we use Turtle, it's not going to take a lot from our Turtle shield. It's not going to take a lot from our Turtle heal. It's not going to take that much although a little bit of the redemption healing, but put it all together and we lose a lot. This stacks up, right? If I use Turtle and Shield, and then Auto Attack to heal, and then Awaken Turtle Shield, and Awaken Turtle Heal, and then drop that Redemption Heal on me, with 15 to 10%, we lose a lot of healing, which sucks. But they didn't touch the actual item effect. It still deals 10% true damage to the enemy. It still has a massive heal scaling with your health, scaling with your level, sorry. And that is a good thing for top lane Udyr. You can, and jungle Udyr, you can get this effect very OP, very, very fast. So I want to speak out for this item. You might see this and think to yourself, wow, is this still viable? This is a big fucking nerf. Yes, it is. Redemption will still be good. I'll still be playing it. Of course, it is sad to see this nerf. But, hey, if they nerf all the damage and they make all items tankier by giving it more health, they have to nerf healing a little bit, because if they don't, fights just become unkillable. We want fights to take long. We don't want fights to take forever, right? So, it's a needed change. Okay, so now this one is not too interesting, but I had to include it since it's Liandry's. Liandry's has been the main item for Udyr for a while, and of course for many other junglers. Now almost every AP item got a nerf, losing about 10 to 20 ability power, so this is nothing special. Liandry's had to be nerfed because it's already one of the most picked AP items in the game, not just by junglers but also by laners. Yeah. Again, I just included this one to say don't stop building Liandry's on Udyr, because you see from 90 to 70 ability power, it's not that big a deal. All AP items got nerfed. It's still OP as fuck. Now, in context to this, some people might think, hey, can't I build Cosmic Drive now instead of Liandry's? Maybe. They nerfed the AP from Cosmic Drive from 80 to 70. Liandry's was nerfed from 90 to 70. Liandry's used to be 10 AP more than Cosmic, but now they're on the same level. Cosmic Drive and Liandry's have the exact same ability power. On top of that, Cosmic Drive gives more health than Liandry's. You still have 4% movement speed. You know, Cosmic Drive is becoming more and more likely the main item on Udyr, especially if the enemy doesn't have champions that build a lot of health, making Liandry's worth less. The only thing that really hurts is this. Passive movement speed from 40 to 60 down to 20. That hurts. That hurts. Like I said, Riot is taking out movement speed from every item in the game. Every item that gave you 5% movement speed now only gives 4%, and all items that gave you 7% also nerfed down to 4%. And of course, an effect like this that just straight up gives you flat movement speed had to be nerfed as well. It's rough. I think overall it might be fine for Udyr though. It might be fine. Maybe. I'm coping here. This hurts. I'm coping. This hurts. It was too broken though. It was too broken. 40 to 60 flat movement speed was so disgustingly strong. It had to happen sooner or later. It's crazy that they went all the way down to 20. I feel like they could have tried 30 or maybe 40 without scaling, so just 40 flat instead of 40 to 60. Maybe this will get a compensation buff if they see Cosmic Drive fall off. But yeah, it's still playable. Definitely an option. You're gonna feel a lot slower with it, but maybe new Nimbus Cloak and the other movement speed nerfs of like 80 carries will make up for it, right? The most important part that I'm always thinking about is I want to feel fast on Udyr and I want to be able to catch other champions. And I think we're gonna be able to catch AD carries much more consistently now that their items got nerfed. I remember multiple times on stream where I have ran after an AD carry and they were just straight up faster than me, although I put points in my E to be faster on Udyr. And I was like, why is he faster than me? I out loud said, why is he faster than me? I press tab and I see one AD carry item in their bag. And that just made the difference, right? So I think Riot got the right idea. If they realize, hey, champions that built Cosmic Drive before struggle to keep up now, maybe we should up this again. You know, maybe they will, maybe they won't. It is what it is. Still good item. Not gonna complain too much. Here's the thing I'm gonna complain about though. Imperial Mandate. They removed the movement speed from Imperial Mandate completely. This is garbage. This is straight up garbage now. Imperial Mandate used to be one of my absolute favorite items. When we made the guide Freljord Warlord Udyr, this was the main item for the build, right? We perma-slowed and hard-seed the enemy. My team came in, hit the enemy, we all got movement speed, and then we just ran the enemy down. It was beautiful. And now you don't have that effect anymore. You only have damage now. Imperial Mandate is now purely made for poking enchanters that have slows. That's it. That's it. Melee champions that have hard CC or slows will not be able to use this item anymore. It was already very unfavorable for Udyr after they removed the health, right? Imperial Mandate only gives ability haste and ability power. It doesn't give health anymore. And now that they removed the movement speed, there's literally no reason to build it on Udyr anymore, unless you want to hard for fun. I mean, if you really want it for fun and you want to play support Udyr, go for it, right? But me personally, I'm just waiting for Riot to add health to the item again. If they add health again, it would be fine that the movement speed is gone. But if we have neither the movement speed nor the health, there's zero reason to build this item. And this is super sad. Yo, Fat and God, what's up? A little bit of depressing, actually. We're going through big item changes for the new split. And I'm gonna play some ranked games after, I think. And there's a lot of nerfs. There's also some new possibilities, some hype stuff. Shield Bash and Thornmail are getting huge buffs. Nimbus Cloak is getting a buff. This is great, right? This is really great, but most of the other stuff got nerfs, so it's a bit of a hit to us. Yo, Nico, what's up? You missed so much informative stuff already. Make sure to check out the VOD. I have a lot to tell about this. Like, I'm ranting like crazy over these item changes. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Shield Bash is gonna go crazy on top lane Udyr. Have you seen the Shield Bash buffs? It's so broken.
Battle calls.
Okay, next up, Iceborn Gauntlet. This has been my pet peeve, my personal TED talk to my community for many seasons. I'm not even kidding, right? The discussion first came up when Udyr, after the rework, which is like 1 or 2 years ago, I think. 2 years ago, actually. 2 years ago, pro players started playing him top lane and they played him full tank. And they wanted a Sheen item on him because it's Udyr, right? But they have no fucking idea how Udyr works. And they just thought to themselves, a tank? Sheen? I gotta build Iceborn Gauntlet, right? And they also went Phoenix, so the slow was completely useless on Iceborn Gauntlet because they were perma-slowing anyway. And the most disgusting thing about Iceborn Gauntlet was that the Sheen damage of it was the same as Sheen itself. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you real quick. Like, I don't understand how this was in the game for over a season, by the way. Sheen has the effect that it deals 100% base AD bonus physical damage on hit after an ability. This is 900 gold. Iceborn Gauntlet has the same effect and costs 2600 gold. Why the fuck does Iceborn Gauntlet deal the same damage as Sheen, and the only excuse it has is, oh well, it also creates a slow field? Fucking useless on tank top laners that build this item because they have slows and hard CC anyway. So Riot is finally taking actions against this and thinking to themselves, hey, Trinity Force deals 200% base AD bonus physical damage, Lichbane has 75% base AD but 45% AP on top. Why is Iceborn Gauntlet the only one that only deals the same amount of damage than Sheen? How the fuck is Iceborn Gauntlet effect only as gold efficient as a 900 gold item? Well, they couldn't explain it to themselves, so they finally changed it. Sheen, base AD ratio, 100%, now 150%. It took us a whole year, but we finally got there. Congratulations, Riot. Well done, well done. Well done, well done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. They did it. The Mad Lads actually did it. So now this is playable on Udyr. I will stop hating this item. I will still say though, do not build it on Phoenix Udyr. It's still not worth it on Phoenix Udyr. Probably. It's probably very likely not worth it on Phoenix Udyr because the price also went up by 300 gold. If you're gonna play QMax Udyr, go for it. I support you all the way. You wanna play QMax on hit Udyr with like some tank items, build it. Go ahead, build it. Phoenix Udyr, I'm gonna hate a little bit, but I'm not gonna outright say never build the item. Right? That used to be my pet peeve because of the 100% Sheen damage. I always said never ever build this item. They changed it, so now it's viable. Good job, Riot. Let's go. Big W change. W. Now from a W, let's go to an L again. What are the shield bash changes? Give me a second, Darkness. I'll go over it again in a second. Frozen Heart. They buffed the armor from 65 to 75. But that is a poor excuse for what they did after that. Rock Solid passive removed. Make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of an era. The item is dead. I'm talking dead. If you don't know what the Rock Solid passive is, every first incoming instant of post-mitigation basic damage per cast instance is reduced by 5 plus 3.5% per 1000 maximum health. Maximum 20% reduction each. What this means in actual English, this was the same effect as plated steel caps. If you were playing against an on-hit champion, Frozen Heart was broken as fuck, because not only did it reduce the attack speed of the on-hit champion that was attacking you, but it also reduced the basic attack damage of them. And on top of that, a lot of abilities counted as basic attacks. If Vayne Q auto attack, this was a basic attack. If Gangplank Q Qs you, that's an auto attack, right? A lot of abilities were auto attacks. So Frozen Heart was just a super viable option against many AD enemy teams. Now with the Rock Solid passive removed, this is actual trash tier. Consider very carefully if you're still gonna build the item. Now I haven't seen them talk about Randrin's Omen, so I'm thinking this stays the same. This only has the critical reduction though. So this has not an auto attack reduction, only a crit reduction. If the enemy crits you, this is pretty good, right? But Frozen Heart, oof. Frozen Heart used to be the #1 armor item for like, I'm not even kidding, like 5 seasons straight. It is really the end of an era. The king is dead, long live the king. But I'm curious to see who is gonna be the next king of the armor items. Maybe Thornmail. Thornmail got a huge buff, right? Maybe it's Thornmail. Alright, Darkness, just for you, just real quick. And for all the people that haven't been here. We talked about Shield Bash at the start of the stream. This is a huge buff. This is a huge buff to Shield Bash. And of course, as you know, Udyr can spam shields like crazy with his W. And especially if you build Eclipse and or Fimbulwinter on top, you have a bunch of shields. They removed the bonus resistance while shielded, but those were trash anyway. You literally got 1 armor and magic resistance in the early game, and 10 armor and magic resistance in the late game at level 18, so it was really bad. They removed this, and in turn buffed what's actually super fun about the rune. The more HP you have, the more damage Shield Bash is gonna deal, so it now performs even better with Overgrowth and Grasp of the Undying, which is in the same tree, so you have huge synergy, right? And the shield ratio, which means the damage it deals from your shield, got buffed from 8.5% to a whopping 15%. They almost doubled the damage. So if you have a shield that is 100, like a shield strength of 100, and you auto attack an enemy, you deal your auto attack damage plus 8 damage on top from Shield Bash. Now that is buffed to 15 damage. And of course, with even bigger shields, it makes an even bigger difference. So this is what I meant with Shield Bash changes are huge. We just got straight up buffs and they removed something that wasn't too important anyway. Now, where were we? Frozen Heart, Eclipse, right. Eclipse, they didn't change too much. I just wanted to include it because it's an item that we in our community build very often, because it's very fun. They raised the cost from 2.8 to 2.9 and they removed the health damage. That is not a problem for us. 2.9 is still cheap, everything below 3k is very affordable, and the health damage removed doesn't matter to us as long as the shield interactions are still there. What we care about on Udyr is the shield of Eclipse. We couldn't give less of a fuck about the health damage, right? We're gonna deal consistent damage, and if we need max health damage, we're gonna build another item, or we use our Awakened Q, which absolutely deals enough max health damage to be able to live without this. So don't be afraid to build Eclipse after this. This is great. If anything, this is gonna make other champions build this item less, so there's more Eclipse for us. Next up, this is one I'm very excited for. This is huge, this is huge. Look at this, guys. Cryptbloom. They reduced the AP from 70 to 60. And the important stuff here, the base heal got buffed from 50 to 100. Now you all know, I love to play support Udyr. I love to heal my teammates, I love to shield my teammates. But a base heal from 50 felt really fucking bad. 50 felt super fucking bad. It also had a 50% AP scaling, but if you were building a support Udyr and you had Locket of the Iron Solari, Redemption, maybe one AP item, maybe, and then build Cryptbloom, your heal was pretty shit because you only had the 50% base heal plus 50% AP. You had around 200 AP with one AP item plus Cryptbloom, so you healed your team for about 150 health, right? Now, even without AP items, you're gonna heal close to that amount. Because the base heal is 100 now, this item gives you 60, it scales with 50%, so with the item itself, you're gonna heal your entire team, every teammate and yourself, by 130 health. I've been cooking an item build where I combine Redemption and Cryptbloom in the same build to have a double AoE heal. And them increasing the base heal is massive for that. We're gonna be cooking with this, boys. Keep your eyes on this. Every champion that wasn't able to build super much amount of AP is gonna love this. This is good. This is good for all frontline junglers. It used to be a control mage item only. You would see this on Haywire and other long-ranged AP champions. Now this is a step in the right direction to also make it viable for melee champions that have to build tankiness and can't afford to build as much AP. So this is amazing. I'm very happy about this one. Slows don't add up. Exactly, Nico. Exactly. Alright, what else do we have? Abyssal Mask. This is the last item change. We're almost through and then we're gonna play some games. An interesting one. It is definitely a nerf. I'm not mad about it though. Abyssal Mask was one of the, if not the strongest magic resist item. It got just buff after buff after buff. Every time you would see Spider X post patch notes about Abyssal Mask and it was a buff, people in the comments were like, I can't believe I'm reading this. Like, I can't believe you're not nerfing this. It's insane to keep it even in the same state, let alone buff it. So now they nerfed it. They reduced the magic resistance by 5 and they increased the cost by 150. It's still 2,650, which puts it in the price range of a support item. Still very cheap, still very good. And they changed the ability haste from 10 to 15. I often complain when I play Udyr that Udyr doesn't have as much ability haste in his item builds anymore as he used to before the rework. So any change to ability haste that goes up, to me, is a good change. Abyssal Mask was too broken as it was. So I'm fine with it being nerfed, it's the right choice. And if on top of that I get more ability haste, so Udyr feels a bit smoother, this is a win-win to me. This is a win-win to me. I'm very happy that they didn't touch the passive effect, because that is the most fun part about Abyssal Mask, right? We don't want Riot to ever ruin this. This is the most fun part about it. Enemy champions within 700 units of you become cursed, reducing their magic resistance by 30%. Gain 10 bonus magic resistance per cursed enemy. So broken. So broken. Like, they could remove this last part and it would still be playable. You don't need 10 bonus magic resistance per cursed enemies. I think there's a lot of people who don't even know the last part of this passive and still think this thing is way too strong. I'm just happy about this. I want to be a little cancer in the Rift, right? I want to be like a disgusting fucking putrid parasite in the team fight. Just being near me is annoying to you, right? If I'm near you and your entire magic resistance, all the gold you have spent on being harder to kill is being reduced by 30%, is so fun to me. And it just feels so like unwarranted rewarding to build a magic resist item and then deal more damage. It is so fun to me. Whenever there's like strong mages in the enemy team and I'm like, I need more damage to carry. But I also need to build tankiness, and I just build Abyssal Mask every time. And I just deal more damage because I'm shredding their magic resistance, and I'm also way harder to kill because of these nutty stats. So it has seen a nerf, which is fine. It is still broken as fuck in my opinion. And the most fun part about this is intact. And at the end of the day, we should care most about having fun. Alright. Here's some interesting changes now about runes. First and foremost, Biscuit Delivery. I'm a little bit retarded, give me a second. Here we go. Biscuit Delivery. A lot of people are mad about this change, so they might pull this back. There's crazy amount of backlash for this change, but let's make our own opinion here. Biscuit Delivery. Gain a total biscuit of Everlasting Will every 2 minutes until 6 minutes. So far so good, it's the same effect. Biscuits restore 12% of your missing health. Consuming or selling a biscuit permanently increases your max health by 30. So where's the mana? It used to be a mana rune. Well, here's what Wright had to say. So there's Mana Flow Band, there is Presence of Mind, and there's Biscuit Delivery. Those are the 3 mana runes. One of these is different than the others.
Run them
Biscuit
down.
Delivery doesn't force you to interact with the enemy. There's just a cookie that spawns in your pockets and you eat it and you get mana back. Wright doesn't like non-interactive stuff, and I get that. So they removed the mana from it completely because it was too close to Mana Potion. Now we only have the other 2 mana runes left, and both of them are interactive, so that's good. What does that leave Biscuit Delivery with? Well, it also gave health, and they're going all in on that now. So you gain 30 max health per biscuit you eat. You get 3 biscuits, so in total you gain 90 max health. Now, is that worth it? Let's check Ruby Crystal to see the gold worth of health. So Ruby Crystal gives you 150 health and should be 100% gold efficient, right? Yeah, 100% gold efficient. So if we get 90 health, well, technically we don't buy biscuits, so it's tough to say if they're gold efficient or not. But we can still, okay, we can say we're getting health worth of 230 gold. That's not bad. That's not bad. We're getting more than half a Ruby Crystal. I think people are hating on this too much. This could be interesting. I think people are mad about not having free mana anymore. Also, 12% of your missing health is huge. If you time this well, this is massive, right? If you time this well, this is massive. Just getting 12% of missing health back in lane phase, this could be good. I could see myself going Grasp of the Undying Udyr, Shield Bash, Overgrowth, maybe Conditioning as well as a scaling rune, right? Instead of... Here's what we do. Instead of going Second Wind and Bone Plating for lane sustain, we take Conditioning for scaling. Then we go into our secondary runes, we take Biscuit Delivery, and we completely trust our biscuits to get us through lane phase. Because 12% of missing health is insane. They heal you a lot. And we get 90 health. And these 90 health synergize with Shield Bash, Grasp of the Undying, and Overgrowth. We just gained another rune that gives us health. I'm seeing the positive here. Now, I get people being distraught about this change if they built Biscuit Delivery before and they counted on having that mana. But it was toxic for the game because it was non-interactive. And personally, I've never built Biscuit Delivery before because I didn't need the mana. I was pretty good with mana householding. And to me, this is just a new rune. This is a new toy for me to play with. So I'm happy. I'm happy about this. I want this. Wright doesn't love uninteractive builds. Cyan don't mind me. That's not true. Cyan needs to last hit the minions to be able to get the health. Cyan doesn't get health from just being near the minions. He has to last hit them. You can punish him for that. That is not true. Come on. Don't dog on Cyan like that. He works for the money. Imagine fight 1 vs 1, go all in with 1 HP and eat that. Well, it's not instant. Or is it? Biscuits restore 12% of your missing health. Wait, is it? Is the healing instant? No way, right? Wait, is it? They don't say it's not instantly, but surely that's a mistake, right? Surely that's just a mistake. Why doesn't this say anything about the healing? It says nothing about the healing here. Here we go. Restore 8% of your missing health and 8% of your missing mana over 5 seconds. Okay. Oh, look at this. Manaless champion instead restored 12% of missing health. So somebody like Mordekaiser would take Biscuits on top lane. He already had the 12%. Okay, but it's over 5 seconds for sure. Time Warp Tonic. That's actually a perfect transition, Nico. Good thing you're bringing it up, because they're changing it. Time Warp Tonic is not going to be a thing anymore. So here's a little history about Time Warp Tonic. This is one of the saddest things to ever happen in League. This is one of the saddest deaths in League of Legends. Let's look at the patch history of Time Warp Tonic. So, Time Warp Tonic used to be that you, whenever you drank a potion, 20% of the potion would instantly activate, so you would get a little heal boost. Then the rest of the potion would heal you. And while you were being healed by the potion, you got bonus movement speed. 5% bonus movement speed constantly. The entire duration of the potion. It was beautiful. It allowed for clean as fuck fighting movement in the top lane. Just the in and out gameplay, the chasing, the dodging. Life was good. And then the Fire Nation attacked. Okay? And then the Fire Nation attacked. Watch. Bonus movement speed reduced to 4% from 5%. This was the first terrorist attack. 12.7. We all remember 12.7. Everyone knows where they were at 12.7. But then they hit the second tower in 12.14, not even a season after that. Bonus movement speed reduced to 2% from 4%. At this point, it was useless already. No one is building a rune for 2% movement speed. No one. No one. I actually had an item build planned on top lane Udyr just based around this item. Because I found the 5% and even the 4% still very fun to play. And this was during the time Corrupting Potion was still a thing. So you had Corrupting Potion, you could use it 3 times, you would get movement speed from it, you will get dot damage from it, and it was on old Udyr, so your Q also had a dot, and the Q dot would extend the duration of the Corrupting Potion dot. You know how fucking fun that was? I never made a guide about this. So this is the first time I'm sharing this actually. But this was one of the most fun builds on top lane Udyr I ever had. You had Corrupting Potion, you had Time Warp Tonic on old Udyr. It was fucking beautiful. It was fucking beautiful. And then nerf after nerf after nerf, and now they're removing the rune. It has been dead since season 12, and now season 14 they're completely removing it. Now what are they doing with it? Well, disclaimer, this is not getting into the game. They've already confirmed this is an idea they had, this is an early draft, it's not making it into the game, it's too broken. But it's still interesting to look at because it confirms Time Warp Tonic is getting removed or reworked, and they're considering changing elixirs. Now this is interesting because we just made a guide about elixirs, And I personally think there's not a lot of representation of elixirs. So Elixir of Iron, Elixir of Sorcery, Elixir of Wrath. You all know these. These are the potions you buy at the end of the game, right? You're full build and you're like, I have all this gold. I need some bonus stats. I'll buy one of these potions. But that is not the point of these potions. The point of these potions is that you buy them before big team fights to be able to secure to win these team fights. But most people are not willing to invest 500 gold just to have a little bit of a better team fight. Fact of the matter is though, that you can build elixir, any elixir from level 9, but no one is building them until they're full build, which is level 16 or 18, right? So Riot wants to add a rune. The first draft of this rune was elixirs can be stacked and do not expire, which is broken, which is so broken. Imagine buying Elixir of Iron and you just get 300 health and 25 tenacity permanently for 500 gold. And then if you buy that motherfucker again, it stacks to 600 health and more tenacity. Now tenacity has a soft cap, so it wouldn't be 50%. But it would still be worth it, because it would be like 33%. So, yeah. Now, I want to make abundantly clear, they're not adding this to the game. This was an idea they had, and they're not adding this to the game. This is not coming to the game. But it's still interesting to look at, because it confirms Time Warp Tonic is getting removed, and they're looking at elixirs. Elixirs are very not used right now, and they deserve some love, and this is good. I could buy one each. You could do that. It's probably not as useful, because one is 80 and one is AP. You probably want to get like more of those, but yeah. 12.7 was a durability patch. I'm not sure, Kratos, actually. I'm not sure. Could be, maybe. It would make sense that Time Warp Tonic would get a nerf during durability patch. I don't know, though. Udyr can do it? True. Udyr could do it. Dude, if they would ever go through with an elixir rune, I'll make an alcohol Udyr build for us. I'll make an alcohol Udyr build, where you just buy a bunch of elixirs and all you do is drink all day. Anyway. Last rune, and this is probably the most massive change. I saved it for last. This is the most massive change. Lethal Tempo is back. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. Lethal Tempo is back. It's different from before though. Let's take a look at it. Attacking an enemy champion grants you 5% attack speed for 6 seconds up to 6 stacks. At max stacks, also deal 9 to 30 scaling with level bonus adaptive damage increased by 1% per 1% bonus attack speed. This is a good idea. This is a good idea. Riot is changing Lethal Tempo fundamentally. Lethal Tempo used to be unlimited attack speed, pretty much, because it broke the 2.5 attack speed barrier. And it gave you extra attack range. So it was very heavily ranged only. There were some melee champions that could use it, like Yone, Yasuo, Jax. And Udyr a little bit, right? Especially old Udyr. But it was more for ranged champions. Now this is more inclusive for melee and ranged, because it doesn't give you ranged anymore as far as I know. And more important than that, you now gain bonus damage on your auto attacks. And the most interesting part about this, I like wacky scalings, okay? Increase your damage per 1% bonus attack speed. So if you build 100% attack speed, instead of dealing 30 damage on hit, you now deal 60 damage on hit. And the more attack speed you have, obviously, the more often you attack. So it's like a double scaling, right? Because not only do you apply the on-hit more often, but it actually becomes stronger with attack speed. So the new Lethal Tempo doesn't want you to build 1 or 2 attack speed items and then just go full 80. The new Lethal Tempo wants you to build more and more and more attack speed, because the damage of it actually goes up with more attack speed. So you can have a pure attack speed build. Now there's one problem with this. Like I said, the old Lethal Tempo used to break the attack speed barrier. There is an attack speed barrier of 2.5, which means a champion cannot do more than 2.5 auto attacks per second. That is what attack speed means. 2.5 attacks per second. With the old Lethal Tempo, you were able to get like 4.0 on some AD carries. 4 attack speeds per second, right? As far as I know, and they might change this, you cannot go over 2.5 attack speed. That means if you've built 2 attack speed items, plus the attack speed you gain from this, and maybe attack speed you have in your kit, because a lot of AD carries gain attack speed from a passive effect, Udyr especially, like from his Q, right? You get to the 2.5 attack speed range very fast. And at that point you have to ask yourself, do I now build more attack speed? Because it's not gonna make my attacks faster anymore. But I do get more damage. But what if I just build more damage instead? Why not build 2 attack speed items and now I just build 80 items? Because these 80 items have effects that I want, or have crit damage that I want. So this is an issue they need to solve. I think Riot should uncap attack speed with Lethal Tempo again. You should be able to go over the 2.5 attack speed range with Lethal Tempo. Otherwise, this rune might be a bit of a flop. That being said though, I think they're going in a very good direction. It's a good idea that you have damage scaling with attack speed. This is a scaling we haven't had before. And I like that. I like that. I'm all for it. Lately, for instance, I've been playing a lot of AP Misfortune, and I found out the more AP you have on Misfortune, the more her E slows. A slow scaling with AP. That is something very unique. And I'm a fan of these unique things. And Riot is cooking with this one. It's not perfect yet, but welcome back, Lethal Tempo. We're gonna play a little bit of on-hit Udyr with it, for sure. We're gonna have a little bit of a JoJo reference stream, where we're just gonna do like Ora Ora Ora, right? Just spam auto attack. It's gonna be a fun stream, for sure. It remains to be seen how useful the rune is gonna be. But hey, any new toy to play with, we appreciate it, right? Alright, I think there's one last thing. Yeah, there's one last thing. There's gonna be a new game mode. Ultimate Spellbook. This is a good one. This is a good one. Because for years we have asked ourselves, what if Udyr had an ultimate? And this is exactly what this is all about. Take another champion's ultimate ability in place of one of your summoner spells and devise a powerful combo to surprise your enemies. So, you could play Udyr, you have your QWER as usual, you just get rid of one of your summoner spells, like Smite for instance, and you get Orianna ult. Imagine that! Orianna ult on Udyr. You run up on the enemy, you stun them with E, you slow them with Phoenix, they try to walk out of the Phoenix, Orianna ult, come back into the Phoenix, start from new, right? Or you could go Ari ultimate. Imagine 3 dashes on Udyr. Imagine that, dude. You're running away, but you can't. You can't get away. Udyr just dash, 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 stun auto attack. Imagine that. So the possibilities are endless. Obviously, this mode is going to be very fun for cooking. I think I want to do a community stream for this one as well, where we can play this together. If the people are down for it. The thing is, we can't all pick Udyr, and I think most of my community would like to pick Udyr. It's not like one for all, where we can all play Udyr, or Arena, where multiple of us can at least play Udyr. So I'm gonna ask in the community if people are down for this. If not, I'm just gonna do a solo stream on it, which is fine too. And they break the Champions Kit too, Mr. Wild? Do they? Where did you see this? In here? At game start, you will choose one of 4 alternate summoner spells. More alternate summoner. Pick again. To the game. You can keep it. 8 minutes. Ultimate ammo has been added. Keep Baron. With an extra charge of the ultimate summoners. Oh my god, what? You can cast your ultimate multiple times in a row if you kill objectives. Jesus. Auto Smite and Jungle. Neutral jungle camp timers have been adjusted to fit the mode. And Auto Smite has been received some tuning. Wait, what does this mean? Auto Smite? So if I play Udyr jungle, and I just don't take Smite, and I take an ultimate instead, and I do red buff, it automatically smites the red buff when it's low enough, even though I don't have Smite? Holy fuck, how goated is this? This is broken. Jungle for the win. Like, laners have to give up TP. They don't get auto TP. Fucking AD carries have to give up heal or barrier. They don't get that. Junglers just get smite for free? That's so broken. What? They shouldn't do this. This is broken. They shouldn't do this, actually. Just have it that there's no jungler. Or junglers have to give up flash or ghost to be able to take smite. It should be 2 top laners, 2 bot laners, 1 mid laner. I think that's a bit broken, but hey, we'll see, we'll see. Udyr with Jagar's ult, so he will be big Udyr. Yeah, that could be fun. You can't have smite, the game smites the camps for you. But it doesn't make sense to me, right? What if I do an objective? Like, legit, imagine this. I'm on Baron with my team, and the enemy jungler comes in and also attacks Baron. We both have auto smite. Who gets the Baron? Am I crazy for this? It fucking destroys the game. Like, how can you contest objectives? It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me, guys. Veigar got Smolder ult and his Q started shooting invisible Smolder ults, but it stopped stacking. I don't think that's intended though, right? That sounds buggy as hell. Huh. Well, anyway. So I'm glad we got this out of the way. It was very fun to rant about these items. I'm gonna go and play a ranked game now. Because we have only streamed for 1.5 hours, so we might as well do something after that. Yeah, like I said, it was important to me to get this out of the way. I'm guessing there's a lot of Udyr players out there with question marks on top of their head, thinking, what do these item and rune changes really mean for Udyr? And now there's an information piece out there. If you ever wonder about anything again, you can just re-watch the VOD. It's on my Twitch for a while and on YouTube forever, right? And now let's get into the fun part. Let's play some League of Legends. Woohoo! Yay! I have a Naruto Udyr video. Let me see that. What's your YouTube anyway? Do you have the same name on YouTube? Oh yeah, you do. Hey, where's the Naruto video? I don't see it. Yo, Lavelle, what's up? I'm EU West. Nah, I'm not going for arena right now. I was just about to queue up ranked. There's not even a month left in the season and I've been chilling. Like, no offense, bro, I need to get on the rank grind. Look at this. Last season I was Diamond. Right now I'm Emerald 2 because I only have 20 games played this season. I've only played 20 games. And there's 12 days left in the split. So if I still want Diamond for the split, I have to play at least some games. It's so exhausting because there's so many ranked splits now. 2 ranked splits was good, but 3 ranked splits is just too much. I can't be bothered. But yeah, so I need to put some games in. My MMR is really good. I get like plus 28 LP and minus 10. So on 1 win, 2 losses, I still make plus. It's really just a matter of sitting down and actually playing the games. I've been playing a lot of normal games for fun, so I'm a bit on low elo right now. Let's get cooking. Emerald 2 as well. 6% win rate on Udyr. Well, sounds like you could go up. If you have 60% win rate, you should maybe try to reach Diamond as well. Maybe not this split, because there's only 12 days left. But there's still 1 split left in the season. So like 1/3 of a year. You can reach Diamond this season if you have good win rate. Oh, so you dropped down, huh? That's unlucky. Where do I have... There we go. Nice. Had to put the flash counter down again. Yeah, I was duo queue with a friend of mine. Bro, way to throw your friend under the bus. What are you saying? It's all his fault that you dropped? Jesus. Yo, Cap, haven't seen you in a while. What's up? You found it? Can you send it in the stream, or can't you send links in the stream? Oh, you can? Nice. Wait! Udyr got the fucking Rasengan! Holy shit! old! You have Divine Sunderer in your items! This clip is super old, what the fuck? It's a bit too loud to me, I can't lower the audio, I can only like cancel it out completely. A nice bug though. Imagine you could replicate this. You just have Rasengan Udyr every game. Next patch, Udyr is gonna be a machine, League of Tanks, it will be. Yeah, it's a good patch for Udyr overall, for sure. Lately, I've been feeling like frontline Udyr has been very hard to play unless you actually like build completely full tank and the enemy doesn't have max health damage. I've been playing a lot of Heartsteel Udyr lately and it felt pretty good. But, like I said, only if the enemy didn't have max health damage. Or only, like, one max health champion that didn't get fed or didn't focus me. So what's new? Nothing much, bro. I'm just hanging out. I recently joined the police academy, so that's fun. Considering League, there's not much happening right now. We're pretty much just waiting for the new big patch to come out. I kind of want to shoot for getting master rank, but I don't have the time. So I'm just chilling diamond in every season. And I don't think it's too interesting anymore to see me reach diamond, because I've done it 3 times already. So it's not really a question anymore. Oh, is he gonna reach diamond? Like, of course. That's just not a question. I'm thinking about playing tank Udyr into this. But maybe I'll try tank Udyr with Phase Rush runes. Oh no, I wanted to try Aftershock. Actually. I've been playing Udyr in the jungle with Grasp of the Undying because it's very good with Shield Bash and Heartsteel for consistent damage even though you're a tank. But I feel like I'm missing out on frontline potential by not going Aftershock, right? Aftershock would give me more tankiness. The only thing I'm worried about is that my damage would drop. So I kind of want to test out, because Aftershock also deals damage, right? It explodes around you after it triggers. And with our stun and slow, we can keep the enemy into the Aftershock range. So I kind of want to find out, does Aftershock deal the same amount of damage as Grasp does over the game? Because then it would definitely be worth it to grab Aftershock. I kind of forgot to install a custom skin, so we have to live without one. It is what it is. Next game, if I play one after this, I can install custom skins. I've got myself a GF and lost it quite fast. Oh man. You had me in the first half, bro. I was happy for you. She was a real bee, so I don't care. Yeah, fuck them hoes, dude. Forget them bitches.
Our blood runs hot.
I hope you're doing good though, bro. Overall. Let's not get a health potion, let's save that money.
It's not a single vault, but a store.
2 games away from Diamond? Damn, Kratos, actually? Wait, why did I have it in my head that you were low elo? Kratos, you almost Diamond? Let's go, dude. Nami Lucian, Cyan Lysandra Udyr. You know what's really nice about these comps? Nami, Lucian, Sign, Lysandra, Udyr, Jinx, Rel, Nock, Irelia, Kata. There's no actual, like, 200-year champion in there. That's all OGs. That's all old champions. Except for maybe Udyr rework, but Udyr is still very based. The most cancer champion in your round there, Lavelle, is Irelia. And that only if she gets fed, or if a lot of you build max health. So as long as you don't build tank Udyr here, you should be fine. Spamming Aram with my friends. Dude, I didn't play Aram or Aram for literally years. Like, I haven't played it for like 4 years straight. Summoner's Rift was the only mode to me, always, right? Because before I would get into game, I always thought about the build I wanted to do and the champion I wanted to play. And on Aram you can't do that. There's no lane phase, there's no real item builds. And you definitely don't get to pick your champion, right? But recently, with League being as toxic as ever, I actually played some Aram games. If Summoner's Rift would get too toxic, I actually played Aram. And it was not a bad time. The people there are much more chill. And I have to be honest, the people there are also kind of trash. Like, they're just worse players than Summoner's Rift. Maybe that's because they play more casually. And in Summoner's Rift people are sweating a lot. But yeah, winning is of course also fun, and we stomped a lot playing ARAM. Winning is not the main point, but I'm just saying. I'm just speaking from my experience here. Alright, we got the full clear done. Let's see what we can do. Amumu is pathing topside. Nope, he's pathing bot side. I saw him on Raptors. So he must have skipped the camp, right? Oh, what an awakened. What an awakened. You thought you had the knock-up free escape. Get out of jail for free card. Nope, we don't accept that. Do not go overgo. Do not get $200. This ain't Monopoly, little bro. You're dead. Yeah, fucking dead. Giga Chat Udyr goes back, buys giant belt. Massive fucking tank. Aram sucks if you're not with friends doing funny stuff like Malevolence Warwick. What is Malevolence Warwick? You mean Malignance? I've been collecting Penta too, especially on Briar, she's too funny. What's the meta on Udyr right now? Meta on Udyr is shifting around a bit, it's kinda interesting. So of course Liandry's is the absolute main item on Udyr, that is pretty boring, right? But Cosmic Drive has been getting buff after buff. And we are at the point where Cosmic Drive is literally just as strong as Liandry's. The only difference is Liandry's gives you damage, Cosmic Drive gives you movement speed. So it's a choice you gotta make. What do I want this game? Right? So you can choose between these two items. Super fun. And Jaksho is not the main tank item on Udyr ever since the start of Season 14. There's a lot of Udyrs that build Deadman's Plate as their armor item after getting ability power as their first item. Which is also super fun because it's movement speed, and movement speed is also great, right? But that's not the only armor item you can build, there's also other options. Some people go Frozen Heart, I think, against on-hit comps. And there's another armor item I'm forgetting. Udyr meta is kind of interesting, but it's not something I concern myself with too much, because mostly I'm doing my own shit. So right now I'm a huge fan of Heartsteel Udyr, because it's just like frontlining and I'm addicted to stacking health and hearing the Heartsteel sound. So I'm playing Heartsteel Udyr. And Heartsteel goes really well into Riftmaker, because Riftmaker gives you ability power stacking with health. So I get a lot of value out of that, and that's just super fun. It's not meta at all, but it's what I'm doing right now. Having a good time, you know. Speaking of having a good time, Amumu is having a fucking field day. He's perma-pathing bot lane. And I hope my bot lane doesn't get mad over this. I'm perma-pathing top lane right now. It already helped once. She wants another gank. But I really want this blue buff before I gank. So if she could wait just a second. Yeah, I'm coming. Yeah, now the minion wave is dead. And I'm probably getting spotted by a ward. Okay, we just got a new wave, so it's fine. Nice stun. Huge stun, actually. Well played. She didn't die there while I was taking the blue buff. And she engaged on my gank. She didn't get mad that I let her wait. That's the good top laner right there. That's a good top laner right there. She was willing to make that compromise, and I love that. And now I still get to take Amumu's entire blue side. Yeah, he took my blue side as well, though. So it's not that big of a plus. We're pretty much trading our bot lane for their top lane. Wait, our Jhin has Cleanse Grasp. Why is he typing? What the fuck? Wait, I was like, oh, I hope my bot lane isn't mad. Oh, I'm ganking a lot of top lane here, though. It should be worth. I hope we can play for late game. I press tab. Not only is this freak feeding his ass off, not realizing that Amumu is camping bot lane, he has Grasp? Lens? Lord have mercy. I'm gonna mute this guy. I think he's gonna explode soon. This guy is unhinged. Found a bug on Malignance when you ult someone with it. That time can you have a giant burning zone? Not sure that's a bug. Malignance gets bigger the more damage you deal with it. So maybe you're just using it on a very big damage ability? I can't kill that actually. I can get the plating though. Sad I couldn't make it there in time. Very sad. That here. Amumu's probably based. There's no reason for him to stay. His entire blue set is down. Unlucky timing with that ward. I really want to play for grubs. But let's get Heartsteel before we do that. Okay. We got a huge spike. This game couldn't go better right now. I got Darkseal, Boots, and Heartsteel. The biggest spike ever at 10 minutes. Now the game is gonna decide. This is the make it or break it moment. Our bot lane is piss useless. If we can make a big play happen on grubs, mid lane or top lane, it's likely we're going to win. Amumu is bot side, so this means we get grubs for free. I could gank top lane here, but I'm gonna prioritize grubs. I ganked Aurelia often enough that she should be able to 1v1 Yone. It's really good to have grubs if one or two of your lanes are behind, because it denies the enemies grubs, which means they're gonna be able to push lanes slower than usual. Which means the game goes on for longer and you get to scale. Makes sense, right? Ooh, good try. Good try. But you can't fear that doesn't feel fear. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna eat those words, I guess. You feared me once, but you can't fear me twice. Alright, this is massive. Not only did we get grubs, but we also got mid lane gank and top lane is winning. If this would be high elo, so Master Plus, this game would be over now. We actually won. We won off of this. But our bot lane is probably very mad being 0-7. And they might run it down. They might run it down. Like, just mathematically speaking right now, the game's over. We won. But we can still lose, which is so crazy. We'll see how it goes. I have one question though. If you play Malignance Tam Kench... Never mind, never mind. I already answered the question myself. Malignance Tam Kench should actually be not too bad. Ah shit. This is bad. Lulu flash and heal. Flash and ult. That sucks. That fucking sucks, dude. Nice. Oh, I barely got that Heartsteel stack. Vega with his burst almost denied me that.
From ashes.
Yeah, our bot lane is getting their booty cheeks clapped. I've rarely seen such a clean trade though. Like me just perma playing around top lane while bot lane perma plays around bot lane, right? Usually you go like a little bit here and there, but this is like I've never visited bot lane once. Wait, why is Aurelia mad? Dude, relax, I had to take the Herald. Oh, you missed your timing, dude. Aftershock? Boop! Oh my god, I killed him with Aftershock. What a disrespect. I can tell Aftershock deals a lot less damage than Grasp already. But it might still be worth it. I think the frontline potential can be huge. We just haven't been in any skirmishes yet, so it didn't really get time to shine. Maybe I should start grouping up. Let me buy some big items and then start grouping. That steel caps is huge here. Let's get some armor too. Usually I build AP here, but they have Yone, they have super fat Lucian, so I need some armor right now. I think I'll finish the Magi's before finishing my armor item. This is why I didn't spend the 700 gold here. We should be able to take this mid lane tower with Herald. Nice. And he gets that kill, that's huge. Cause I don't need it. What I'm doing right now is pretty much a support Udyr build. I already got 3 kills. Got some items. And we're stacking that Heartsteel, right? I think we could have played that. Maybe I was a bit greedy for the Heartsteel stacks. Now I kind of don't want to build out my Darkseal. Let's go for Riftmaker like we planned. We can actually get Haunting Guys perfectly here for 1.3k. That's fine. Who got my shutdown? Yone. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I got Plate Steel Caps, I got Thornmail. This is fine. No, we just got this tower. We're getting this tower maybe. Oh my god. 1 minion auto attack. Actually 1 auto attack. Oh my god. Alright, it's time to play around dragons. Now that we are ahead, we do what I like to call the reverse sweep. I usually play around grubs because it's really easy with Phoenix Udyr to clear them super fast and contest them if the enemy pipes up. And then once your team is ahead and bot lane differential doesn't really matter anymore, you can just get 4 dragons in a row. And that's pretty cool because dragon stacks with itself really good. So if you get more dragons of the same kind, it's good. Right, so for instance, it's better to get 4 Infernal Drakes instead of Cloud Drake, Hextech Drake, and then 2 Infernal Drakes. You'll just get so much more value out of it. Ooh, ooh! Make no mistake, buddy! I might look like a tank, but I got hands! Woo! Oi, oi, oi! Alright, so Lucian, Lulu are top lane, like I said. Lane phase is over, bot lane differential does not matter anymore if these guys are literally not showing up for the dragon. Which Amumu set up for their win con actually. Amumu played around bot lane to get their bot lane fed, but also to secure early dragons. They have 2 dragons, they're super close to soul. But now they just stopped playing on dragons and they're griefing the entire game. I can tank this with Awakened Turtle, I think. Yeah, we're fine. Jungle diff. No! That blast plan from him was massive. I also cancelled my auto attack against the Lulu. Denied myself the Heartsteel stack. Maybe I can stop their recall though? Where are they? Ah! Still couldn't get the Heartsteel stack. She died too fast. And there you go. Like I said, the game is pretty much over. We're just running these guys right now. Minute 20 just rolled around when we feel like we could take the dragon. The Baron, I mean. Once we feel like it, it's pretty much ours. Deny the enemy the red buff, so their team fighting is gonna be even worse. Maybe kill Amumu on top. No, that's a bit greedy, let's not do that. And reset Baron. You know what? I'm gonna buy an Elixir here. Now act. Oh my god! Look how huge I am. The size increase from what was it called? Heartsteel plus the size increase of Elixir of Iron. I'm a fucking monster. This is the perfect example game of why I like to play Heartsteel Udyr recently. I'm literally unstoppable. I'm a monster, dude. I would appreciate some help though. While I frontline, my team gotta deal some damage. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay. I thought we could roll up on that Baron right off the bat. I think my team was still busy setting up vision. My team might have been still setting up vision. This should have been our Baron. Maybe I was in too deep. Veigar still has ultimate. Q ult kills here. Oh, what is happening? He missed. What the fuck? Ah, but he's fine. Alright, let's try this again. We just take red buff and we go for Baron again. We're still ahead. They got a bunch of kills here, but that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, our team was out of position. I can't catch this guy. Team wants to fight. I'm sending them red buff. Gotta make sure red buff is ready for the fight. Makes a huge difference if your entire team has red buff, right? They all apply it on auto attacks. I could 1v1 Delusion, I think. He doesn't have Lord Dominic's. Bro, if he greets for this... Ah, that would have been insane. I would have ran this guy down. He goes anywhere without his support, he's fucked, dude. With Lulu, he can definitely kite me for long enough. And we should play around Dragon. It's less of a risk than Baron. We should have been able to take Baron, but... we fucked up. It is what it is. Skullcrab is still here, nice. We're actually gonna get vision control over this, although we're a little bit late. Group up for this, don't die. They don't have a single ward here! What is this elo? Guys, you have... enemy team has 2 dragons. Dragon spawns in 10 seconds. And you don't have a single ward here. I'm guessing they have some at Baron? Like, what's going on? You can't do Baron now! It's too late! You can't start it once we finish Dragon? God damn it. I face tanked the Amumu Q on purpose because I wanted to protect my team from an ult engage from him. I denied him ulting my carries, so they survived, but it's actually not really worth it for Jhin. Maybe I should have sold out my team here. I tanked that on purpose, but they deal so much damage. I don't have magic resistance. Look at this. Lucian deals 0 damage to me. I was afraid of him because he was fat, but I tank an Amumu ult and Hewai deals his AoE. I'm fucking cooked. Let's see if we can get Negatron Cloak going. Maybe Jaksho would have been a decent option here, so we have armor and magic resistance. I don't think Locket would have been viable because they have so much hard CC. I would have died before being able to activate it. Nice. 2 Heartsteel stacks, dropped a bunch of damage on them. Very good, very good. We make some pressure. Let me get my health back. Then I rejoin the fight. There's no way they can push this. A lot of people recoiled here. Oh, but not all of them. Yeah, what the fuck are these Baron calls from them? Now I'm not gonna lie, I actually did not see them coming doing Baron. But literally only because it's such a bad call. They were only 3, and we were right beside mid lane. It's like they want to lose. We actually didn't have vision on this, but like you wouldn't do Baron here. You just don't. Donate King wrote best viewers on Vibrex store. Hey, why don't you actually donate instead of spouting some bot messages? Calling yourself Donate King, where the money at? This is a bunch of bullshit, bro. I think you're lying. Okay, Vega's sacrificing himself here, but we get to rip open the mid lane in turn. I'll say worth it. I'll say worth it, dude. Alright. Boom, magic resistance. Now I'm gonna finish Abyssal Mask here. And then I'm gonna finish my armor item. I don't think their AD champions are any threat while I'm sitting on plated steel caps plus half an armor item. Make sure we take red buff, so it's ready for the next fight. We're playing this beautifully. The only thing I misplayed here is 2 times I very much underestimated their magic damage. I want a frontline for my team, but I was not able to. Even with Awakened Turtle. I underestimated the damage they would have. Zoning R here, so my team can escape. Oh, we're going for the re-engage. I like this. I like this. Oh, I got stunned in that. Doesn't matter. Holy, we run him. The power of Baron buff. Game's over. Game's over. It's actually such a fucking jungle gap too. This Amumu got 2 dragons and then they didn't play around dragon at all. Their bot lane didn't play around dragon, their jungler didn't play around dragon. They got 2 dragons and then we got 2. Your entire win con was to get soul. Get soul and then team fight with your AD carries. What the fuck were you doing? They gave that game for free, bro. I'll take it. Free LP, my favorite. Delicious. Delicious. Alright, so I could play another game now, or I could go offline and watch an episode of The Sopranos and get up tomorrow early. Let me see when do I have to get up. I do have university, I don't know when though. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I got university at 8 in the morning, so I have to get up at like 6:30. That's gonna be it for me. We take that 1 win and we get the fuck out. As you can see, my MMR is broken as fuck. I get 29 LP per win. Yeah, what can I say? So it's gonna take us like 3 or 4 more games to secure Diamond for the season, and then maybe next split we go for Masters. And that being said, today, huge W. I got to rant about items and item building. I'm excited for the new split. I think Durability Patch 2.0 is gonna be a success. Also Heartsteel Udyr, always a banger. That was super fun. I'm getting out of your hair, so you enjoy the rest of your evening as did I. Next stream is gonna be Supermarket Simulator again, because that was super fun last time. So with that being said, if you want to keep up to date with everything I do, you can follow my Twitter @wild_Udyr. Feel free to join my Discord and hang out over there. And if you like neither of that stuff, I just catch you back on my stream. Stay healthy, stay hydrated, and most important of all, stay safe. See ya, bye bye.